Welcome to our Saturday stream. This is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and excited to have everybody here. Let's see, here we go. We've been streaming live every single day for the past 10 days. We're going to do this for 20 days, celebrating our 20 years anniversary of the law firm. And as always, as we do every single day, come back, ask your questions. This live stream is for you guys. And those of you that are joining us right now on YouTube, our Facebook group, our Facebook, Instagram, let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're from. What are you doing on this Saturday night? And bring your immigration questions, and we'll be joining with our TikTok community as well very soon. Here we go. And let me know also where you are tuning in the world. It's a beautiful Saturday in San Diego. The sun is shining, and we're excited to answer your questions. So let's see. All right, let's see. Danielle, can someone who applied for asylum still in the process apply for an EB2 visa if he meets the conditions, and if he gets approved, can he travel? Yeah, so somebody like that who is here legal, when he applied for asylum, he should be able to do that. But if you apply for asylum when you're out of status, then you can't. And the topic of today's YouTube is the new Florida bill that targets ID for undocumented immigrants, and not just Florida, Texas and other states that are kind of against immigrants. In this particular bill, they are basically not going to be accepting IDs from somebody who is undocumented, so the person won't be able to get services and things like that, which is a little bit extreme. But more and more of these bills are going to surface, especially in this election year. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Hello, guys. Ribit, Fredo. We got Brazil. We got Kenya here. Albania here. We've got, of course, Ramon. I appreciate the kind words. I mean, I'll highlight you. And we're doing this every single day, guys, for the next 10 days left of the previous 10 days we've done this. Let me post the link here. If you guys want to join us live, you can join us live by going to this link here and post your videos, post your questions, and I'm here to answer it. If you want to be on video, you're welcome to join on video. Here we go. Question from King Khan. 11 months outside from the U.S. and also green card expired. Can I apply for I-131 boarding foil? It's possible. 11 months is not too bad. Being outside of the United States, it's still doable for you to apply for that permit that will allow you to enter the United States. And we'll take your video calls in a second. Let's join our TikTok community as well. I was a little bit late today on the call, but we'll be taking your questions in the order received. We have 7. Ash is asking, can I get a green card through EB5 after overstaying B1, B2? It's if you overstay your visa, it's gonna take. It depends how long you overstayed, but typically you cannot. If you overstay your visa, you're not able to adjust your status to a green card, because the first thing they're looking for when you apply for a green card is your legal status, and if you overstay, then it's not possible. Welcome to our TikTok community. A lot of our TikTok viewers are here. It's Saturday night. So, I'm excited to be here with you guys, answer your questions, and that's what we do. So, my TikTok friends, the one that are joining right now, just let me know where you guys from, where you're tuning in today. And yeah, just drop your questions and let's get this party going. Hearts and likes. Don't forget we have a challenge today, our ice cream challenge. So make sure you start, sending me that. And yeah, let me know where you're coming from today. We've got Lisa from New York, Jeremy from the Philippines. We've got San Diego. Well, I'm in San Diego. So pretty cool. Denver, Ohio, excellent. Well, New Jersey, I'm honored to have all of you guys here tonight. You could be doing something much better on this Saturday night, but you choose to be here with me, so that's exciting. Let's take Alex on a video call, and then Ashburn also waiting. Alex, where are you from? And ask your question. And I will be taking more questions,
Uh,
and we'll do some video calls later on. Yes. Can you put your video as well so we can see you if possible?
Unfortunately, I'm not in the right place that I can make a
Okay,
video.
that's fine.
Sorry.
Well, ask
Is
your
it okay if
question.
we can talk
Let us know where you're
like
from.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm from Ethiopia. I just
Okay.
came to the United States like a couple months ago.
Okay.
Um, I have a question. Like I came through the border.
Okay.
Um, I have just court date appointments right now.
Okay.
Um, for 2026 for my master's hearing, the first hearing.
Okay.
My question is that am I banned from seeking asylum? Is the Biden's asylum ban right now the rule is implemented or not? That's
No,
my
no.
question.
It's the asylum ban has not been implemented yet. If you apply before any bans, you should be fine. So whatever happened before you apply, it's going to be it won't be retroactive.
Oh, that means if I apply right now,
You
even
should be
if the
fine.
rules,
Even if the rule
okay.
comes in, you should still be okay because the rule is not final yet.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay, okay.
All right. Perfect. Sounds good. So remember, anything that, even if they change the law, even if, people are worried, what if I file and then Trump is going to be in power? Will he change a lot of things? If you're already in the process of your case, they shouldn't be able to change what's happening with you. All right. We've got here user 185. I currently have, uh, I just lost your question. Can a person with a pending I-360 with a prima facie but no pending 45 yet travel safely to Florida? Yes, as long as you have, even if you're undocumented, this is a person who has a pending VAWA case, but even if you're undocumented, as long as you have a valid ID, you should be able to travel inside the United States, but do not travel outside the US, but inside the United States, you're good to travel. Um, any updates on DACA? And I mentioned yesterday, I already started, and I mentioned it both on our YouTube and the TikTok stream as well as on Instagram. Like right now, we are waiting for some kind of a court decision, court hearing to happen on DACA probably in the next few months. And then obviously, I think it will be appealed to the Supreme Court, and then we'll see what happens. But for the moment, you can only renew DACA, and you can advance parole and work permits. Right. Let's see. We have a question from Ramon. I have a removal condition application accepted almost 2 years ago, um, and went to get my stamp at immigration. Officer said it's pending. Is it good news? Well, remember that removal of condition cases, they could be pending up to 4 years. So the fact that when you went to the immigration to check on your case and they said that there's activity, that's good news. maybe there will be some decision. But that's the reason why they're giving you 4-year extensions, by the way, because they are pending for so long. It's very slow right now, just so you know. All right, we've got. And by the way, those of you that are watching right now on TikTok, if you're here for the first time and you see the stream, make sure you follow my account so you don't miss any of the videos. And also click the 3 dots at the bottom to share the live stream. And the YouTube people who are watching this right now, if you are not a subscriber yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, if you have any questions, you can also send me a text, and the text number is on the screen right now. And we've got Ashburn. Ashburn, you're becoming a regular on the show, like
Yeah,
that.
regular. I enjoy watching your videos.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I
I enjoy
appreciate
your
it.
content. Your content is helpful, and I look forward to coming to you in the next few months.
Thank you so much. I
Definitely.
appreciate it.
So,
What is your
so,
question today?
my wife now, she's due to get a green card. Like I
Okay.
told you previously, explained my
Yeah.
scenario. I'm here on an ESTA visa and an
Yeah.
overstays.
Yeah. Correct.
So how can I adjust my status from inside the US, or I might have to leave the country?
Right.
Like if I don't want to wait until she's a citizen, I just want to adjust
So
my status.
because you came here on the ESTA, right? So you essentially ESTA is not a visa, right? And you overstayed. A green card holder cannot legalize you, but once if you want to do it from the inside the United States, and you should, because if you leave the country, you're going to be barred. I would wait for your spouse to become a citizen, and then have her apply for your green card. That's what I would do.
So if she's a legal resident now, if I'm
She
outside the
cannot.
country, can,
No,
can she
because
not apply for the IO 6-month waiver?
no, because you overstayed your status, and so the waiver is not going to help you from here. The waiver can only help you if you leave the country. But you shouldn't leave the country. Why would you leave the country? Just wait for her
Yeah,
to become a
correct.
citizen.
And how many years do you think it will take for her to become a citizen?
Well, when did she get her green card?
She's due to get it this year, definitely.
She's going to get her green card this year.
Yeah,
So she
100%.
she's going to have to wait 5 years before she can apply
For
for it.
5 years, so she can apply for
Yes,
citizenship.
correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Ashby. I appreciate it.
And also, please make some comments about the target ID undocumented information, what you mentioned.
I will. I will. So basically, one of the things that people wanted me to talk about is there's a new Florida bill that came out targeting ID cards for undocumented immigrants. This is just recent. And basically, what it is, and I wanted to mention it because I have a few people from my YouTube community that sent me that bill. So the idea is that anybody who is residing in Florida, it's a new bill. It's not. It's in addition to what they already passed before. And this bill essentially what's going to do is that if you have an ID and you're undocumented, they're not going to be accepting it in Florida government areas. For example, city offices, public places. They're going to be starting to basically discriminate. If you're undocumented, they're going to be checking your paperwork, and if you have an ID, your ID won't be valid, which is crazy. So I think we're going to see a lot of opposition to this bill, but this is just an example of a lot of kind of like bills like that are kind of surfacing right now as we entering the election year. Texas is expected to pass a few similar bills, even something worse. Other states, that kind of anti-immigrants are looking at this. So there's going to be a lot of it's kind of like designed to attack immigrants while they are trying to pass other legislation and put pressure on the government as they are trying to maybe pass some kind of immigration legislation. But this is just ridiculous. So, if you're living in Florida, I feel bad for you guys, seriously. And a lot of people are actually starting to move from Florida, especially if they have issues with their status. But this particular bill is just, and it's just these things are upsetting me a lot. I hate this. All right, we have a lot of questions here on TikTok. We've question here. I'm a citizen and I want to apply for my boyfriend. Yes, you can do that if you're a citizen. What happens if an F1 student wants to apply for asylum? A good question from TikTok. Well, You can apply for asylum as long as you do it within the first year of entry. And if you want to do it beyond the first year of entry, then you really have to prove that the circumstances in your home country have changed. That will be the only way to do it. Thanks for the hearts and the likes. And don't forget, guys, we have this goal here, our ice cream goal. The goal is, the theme of today is to support all the undocumented immigrants in Florida that are being impacted by this new bill targeting ID cards. We want to support these immigrants. So we have this target to show them that we appreciate them and we're not going to be scared by all these crazy tactics. So click on that heart and ice cream thing, and let's support our Florida friends. How do we get a hold of you, and can you practice in all 50 states? Thanks, Sanu. I appreciate you. You know, we're doing this for Florida immigrants. Thank you so much, Sanu. I appreciate it. Yes, I can practice in all 50 states. Immigration is federal, so we can do this in all 50 states. And if you want to get a hold of me, our TikTok friends, all you have to do is send me a DM or use the link in the bio, and the link in the bio will lead you to our contact page, which is the easiest way to do. And on YouTube, the best thing to do is just use the banner and click me right here on this phone number here. Let's see, we've got a question from Gobadi. Person has EB2 national interest waiver, the self-petition. You've been 9 months in advance parole. What should I do? You've been 9 months at admin processing. So, you know, admin processing is a big problem in a lot of categories. It really depends on which embassy you're from and how your case was filed. But admin processing means that the government needs more information about your case. They're checking background. Right now, these background checks sometimes take over a year, unfortunately. And we had to resort to suing the government when they took too long to process some of these cases. So, 9 months, you're still not in that area where we can sue, but you are coming close to that. So we've been suing the U.S. Embassy in Islamabad. We sued Manila. We had a lot of lawsuits against some European consulate because they're taking too long to process cases. And the purpose of a mandamus is that to force them to make a decision, right? So right now we're getting ready to sue USCIS as well. We have a lot of delays in citizenship cases. Normally after an interview, they shouldn't be working on the case more than 120 days, but now they're doing this. And so we have no choice but to sue them. And we're doing a lot of this. All right. Question here from unknown. I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Do I have any, and I have any legal entry? No DACA. How long would my process take? So this is a common case where somebody entered the United States without inspection. Now they're married to a U.S. citizen. You're going to need to go through a waiver, I-601 waiver. And then the waiver is taking about 3 years right now. Those cases are taking about 2.5 years. So you're looking at about 3.5 years until you have to leave the United States and go to a U.S. embassy to process your application. Question from our YouTube viewer, Usama. Hi, Jacob. I'm from India. I have a B1, B2. Can I change it to an EB3 inside the United States? So that's a good question. We have a lot of these EB3 questions on TikTok as well. I made a video a few days ago explaining the EB3 process. A lot of employers are looking for workers. So if you're on a B1, B2, and you're inside the United States, as long as you're in legal status, you'll be able to change. However, getting the B1, B2, thanks, Miti, I appreciate that. In order to get the EB3, that takes a long time. That takes 2 years. So you're not going to be able to switch from B1, B2. You'll have to switch from the tourist visa to a student visa or to a work visa, and then you can apply for the EB3. Okay, that's what I explained also in the video as well. Yes, I agree. Florida is crazy. I absolutely agree. Honestly, I heard that they are working on a few other bills targeting undocumented immigrants. We're going to hear about those bills in February, and those bills are pretty good, pretty bad. But this particular one, like they just passed the ID cards. I mean, can you imagine, like you entering into let's say you enter into a bar, right? Into a bar, they check your ID. Allegedly, they can say, "Well, what's your immigration status? Show me your papers." And if you don't, they might basically not let you in or something like that, right? Or you go to a public place. Um, so this is insane. So we should definitely, make some noise against this Florida bill, because that's just not realistic. P45 on YouTube. Actually, that's a question from Facebook, I think, but that also appears on our YouTube screen here. I-130 petitioner dies before the beneficiary gets the interview. Will the petition also die? So I answered this question yesterday. If you have let's say you have a petition for, family reunification, and the petitioner dies, because sometimes it takes forever. There is a law that says substitute sponsor, where you essentially can substitute the sponsor with somebody else, like a sibling, or like an uncle or a spouse, and then the petition is not going to die. They'll be able to continue with the case to replace the petitioner. So in your case, it's doable, and if you need help, just use, like I said, use the phone number right here to get in touch with me, specifically for our YouTube and Facebook community, and you guys are going to be able to get to get some help from our office. Let's see, we've got 7 here.
Hello, sir.
You are in the same hoodie as I do, similar hoodie.
Yeah, we do.
Right?
We do. We matching.
Hoodie.
So, sir, I have a
What's the
question.
question, or
So,
where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Amsterdam.
Okay, Amsterdam. Nice.
Yes, I'm currently in Amsterdam. So,
Okay.
I have a B1/B2 visa,
Okay.
and I want to get a green card, and I want to live in the States.
Okay.
And I have my aunt and uncle living in the States, you feel me? But
Okay.
I don't have like direct family in the States. So, how
Okay.
can I get a green card?
How old are you?
I'm 18, sir.
18 years old. Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That as an 18-year-old, you're thinking about it. All right, I'll answer the question. So basically, just for the people who don't see it on YouTube, he's 18 years old. He's based in Amsterdam, and he wants to move to the United States. No immediate family, right? You don't have like a parent who's American, right?
No, sir.
So I think for you, thanks, Vicky. I appreciate it. For you, what I would do is the quickest way is to come as a student. That's you should apply for school. You're 18 years old. You qualify for college. You should get that. That's the quickest way. The easiest way to come. You come as a student. You finish your school. You get OPT. It's a special work permit after school for 1 year to work. During this 1 year, you find a job. Thanks, Mango. I appreciate it. You find a job, and then this job sponsors you for the H-1B visa, and then the H-1B visa becomes a green card. So I'm telling you a process that will take you about 6 to 7 years, and then you'll become a green card. But by the time you're 24, 25 years old, you could have a green card already if you follow that path.
Okay.
All right.
So, for what visa I gotta apply to get like a student visa?
F1 visa. Start with the
F1.
student visa. That's you're 18 years old. The fact that you're thinking about it, you're sitting in the Netherlands, and you're talking to an immigration attorney in the U.S. That's already tells me that that's a big step, and you're ahead of the game than most people, right? Because you took the step, you took the initiative to speak with me. And that means your plan is already ahead. You want to make that plan to move to US. Let me ask you this question: why do you want to move to the US so bad? You're 18 years old. You live in Europe. Why do you want to move to the US? Why?
Because I have family living there. You feel me? And I don't have family out here. You feel me? I'm living with a friend right now. So I was born here. You feel me? But I basically grew up in foster care. So I'm trying to get back to the States.
So you want to move close to the family and maybe even better your life in a way, right?
Yeah. So I lived a couple months on an ESTA. So I ended up overstaying my ESTA, and then I got back. So yeah, I would love to talk to you more about my immigration
Just
stuff.
send me a text with this number, okay? And remind me that you came to my YouTube live. Okay, say that you were on the YouTube live. The boy from Amsterdam. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Incredible. People from all over the world trying to better their life, move to the United States. And that's what I'm saying. YouTube and TikTok and all these platforms are such a good resources for people to learn and have access to attorneys and other professionals who want to be able to help them to take that first step. That was not possible like 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So I'm just blown away by all this. All right. We got great questions from TikTok. Danny says, I have an appointment with your team this Monday. I'm so excited. You know what, Danny? We're even more excited that you're gonna be talking to us. And I'm always excited to have consultations with people because you just learn so much about people. So and we got a lot of DMs, by the way. We got a lot of DMs the last few days since I'm going live. So please be patient with us. We'll respond to all of them. I promise you. I've got 2 people helping me respond, and we're gonna get to all of you. Anita is asking, are you familiar with the ESTA forms? Yes, I am. Oh, thanks for the ice cream cones. We are reaching our goal of empowering immigrants. Thanks, Sunu, in Florida, supporting them right now because they're going through a lot of hardship with all these crazy bills. Does UCIS call interview for green card sponsored by parents over 21 years old? Yes. So interviews, yes, parents who are sponsored by their kids are also be called for interviews. You know, interviews are waived for not just for spouses; they could be waived also for parents. But remember, I mentioned to you before. Now there are less interview waivers. They're going back to the policy of of doing interviews, and in fact, they're more strict on these interviews, and they're looking for all these signs of fraud. And I have a copy of the fraud manual of UCIS. In fact, I'm going to make a video probably tomorrow on TikTok about all these questions, like what is a red flag in a green card interview, and I'll pull the manual and I'll show you what is the immigration officer, what they have in their manual, because it's almost like a checklist, and they say, okay, this is a red flag, this is a red flag, this is a red flag, this is going to call for a second interview. So we're going to go through this kind of like, I'll give you an example from this manual, and I'll make a video about it. And so I'm excited to do this tomorrow. How long does it take to get a green card when you are a student? So if you're a student, you have to go through the chain of getting the process. Like I was, if you don't know, I'll tell you the story. I came to the United States like over 20 years ago. And I came here to law school in San Diego, right? And I was an F1 student myself. I started as an F1 student. I was a student. I finished my law school. And then I found, thanks, Vicky, I appreciate it. Then I found a law firm that sponsored me for the work visa H-1B. So I worked for this law firm for about a year or so, almost 2 years, actually, 2 years. And then the law firm also did the green card for me. So I was an F1 student first. Then I had my H-1B visa. And then the law firm applied for my green card, and then I was able to get a green card. And when I got my green card, and that was in 2000, and I got my green card in 2002. 2002, I got my green card. So back then, it only took me a year to get a green card. Now, today, if I had to apply for the same green card with my qualifications, like I was a law student, and I had my law degree and all that, it would take me right now in this climate with this category. I applied under the EB3 category back then, even though I could qualify for the EB2 because I already had a master's degree. The law firm decided to apply for EB3 because they wanted to pay me less money. And so the way it works is that the position they classified me as a law clerk because I wasn't licensed yet. So instead of putting me as an international lawyer, because I was already, I had a law degree from the UK, they classified me as a law clerk under the EB3 category, which means it's less pay. Okay. And, I still got my green card anyway. But if I had to do it today, they probably would have classified me under the EB2 category, which is a little bit quicker. But anyway, back then. So yeah, so that's if you ask to answer your question, Princess, that's the route: F1, H1B, EB3, or EB2, and then you get a green card. Can I marry? Ruth is asking, can I marry my cousin for a green card? He's a U.S. citizen. Kelvin, I'm going to ask you a question in a second. I see you. I'm going to answer your question. So, there's nothing in the law that says you cannot marry your cousin. However, it depends. It depends if you're coming from a religion that it's normal to marry your cousin. It depends on like if it's if it's a legitimate marriage, or your cousin is just trying to help you. I mean, like I said, it's, they're probably going to question it. They're going to find out, like, is it normal in your in your family to do this? So yeah, I mean, like I said, the law doesn't say you cannot, but maybe they'll question you. All right, let's see. Kelvin is asking. Let me see, Kelvin. Here we go. Kelvin, I have an order of deportation when I came in the United States, and UCIS gave me advance parole on my DACA. Today, my interview based on marriage, they told me they couldn't give me my green card. They couldn't give you a green card. And let's see, why couldn't they give you a green card? Couldn't they give you a green card? I mean, I need more details. Like, you have order deportation. Maybe it's the order. Seriously, Kelvin, because you clicked on the premium question request. Just please send me a text and let me know that you were my live, and I'll talk to you about it on Monday, okay? Because there's a lot of things I have to ask you about. What kind of order of removal you had? When was it? Was there any other issues in there? Sometimes when you go through a green card interview, and you have, thanks Newfell, and you have an order of removal, if your case is not done, because remember, we have two agencies, right? We've got USCIS and you've got the immigration court system. If you have a case in court that is not finished, then USCIS is not going to finish your case, right? So, for example, we have people that, like, were removed or in the process of removal, or they have a case that is in abeyance, that is not an active deportation case, but it's not closed. And now you go through the green card process. They won't be able to finish your green card process at USCIS until you go to the court, reopen your deportation case, finish that case, close it, and then go back to USCIS. You know what I mean? So maybe that's the reason what happens to you, Kelvin. But again, since it's a very personal matter, requires a lot of details, we don't want to do it in public. So just send me a text and I'll be more than happy to do it. That's the reason why we're here, to give you the opportunity to connect with me. YouTube viewers, I put the number right here. Please use that number to initiate conversation with me. And if you're watching this on TikTok, DMs are open. Send a DM. Be patient. We'll respond to you. Or maybe for quicker response, use the link in the bio to initiate a consultation. All right, let's see. Mr. Jacob, please do a first-time applicant apply for a job in the United States. How does a first-time applicant apply for a job in the United States? You have to find a job first from an employer who's willing to hire you, and that employer is going to initiate a process to apply for your visa or a green card, and that's the first step for a new person. We've got a question from an anonymous person saying, my lawyer has taken about 5 months to prepare my adjustment of status. What can I do? Well, it's really about, I have a lot of people here complaining about their attorneys. It's really about your communication with your lawyer, right? So if your lawyer is taking 5 months to prepare a simple adjustment of status, it's really also something that you have to look into your communication. Like, how often do you call this attorney? What happens when you call them? Do they give you the same excuses all the time? You remember, you guys have control over your case. Even after an attorney files your case, it is okay to switch lawyers. It happened to us as well. I'm working with a client, and sometimes communication breaks, and sometimes people are not a good fit. It's like a relationship, right? Working with an attorney is like a relationship. Not every relationship is a fit, and sometimes we realize that we're not a fit. So sometimes the client will decide to choose somebody else. Sometimes we will tell the client, listen, maybe it's better if you do find somebody else because we're not a good fit. The case is not going to be impacted. Your case, just because you switch lawyers, USCIS is not going to impact your case. So have a conversation with your attorney, ask him why it's taking 5 months to prepare your case. And if you're not happy with the answer, find another attorney. They say they are backed up. Well, if they're backed up, they need to hire more people. You paid in full, and you can ask for a refund. Absolutely. You can ask for a refund for the work so let's say if they prepared half of your case, you can request a copy of your file and work with another attorney. Absolutely. And again, I'm more than happy to help you. Just send me a DM. Ilnes is asking, why is USCIS taking more than a year to respond to my military parole in place? Well, first of all, it's a disgrace. Parole in place should take priority. These are cases where military U.S. citizens are filing for their spouses, are filing for parents, and the government is taking forever. These people are in the military, are active duty, are doing a service for this country, and USCIS is looking at their cases and basically saying we don't care. So what I would do is, in my parole in place cases, we follow up with UCIS. We request them to expedite those cases because our clients are in the military. I put the orders, I highlight the orders, I show them that these people are in the military right now, active duty. They need to take those cases seriously and give them a priority. So you need to, like I said, take action on your case and inquire. Nessa is asking, I have a 10-year green card and I filed for my citizenship after 3 years. If I get divorced now, so if you haven't filed for your citizenship yet and you have a green card, which is a 10-year green card, you're not going to be able to use the 3-year because the 3-year says you have to live with your husband and wife, and you have to live with them and be married still to a citizen. So in your case, you're still married, clearly, but divorce will take 6 months, but you don't live anymore with your spouse, right? So you're not, you should not do the 3 years because they're going to penalize you. So let's see here. A lot of questions here on YouTube as well. Ramon, let me find your question, Ramon. Ramon, I'm looking for your question. Can you post your question again, Ramon? Because I cannot find it. Fanny is asking, I was stopped by immigration when I was 7 years old. I was sent back. I entered illegally a couple of days after. Do I qualify for advanced parole? I wouldn't use advanced parole if I were you. You have double reentry, and you should not be leaving the country until you find a solution to fix your paperwork, to be honest with you. That's my humble opinion. Do you offer LGBT marriage cases? Of course. We represent, we don't discriminate. We represent LGBT, all religions, all nationalities. Absolutely. We have actually a lot of clients from the LGBT community. San Diego, has one of the largest, gay pride parades every summer. And we are sponsors in booths of these events for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Just if you need help, if you want to ask questions in public, just send me a DM. Chua is asking, Santos, can I enter the United States after overstaying my ESTA? I left the US and I was 19 years old. Remember, ESTA is this privilege that Europeans have in other countries to enter the United States. Once you overstay ESTA, ESTA is gone for life. You're not going to be able to use ESTA. You have to go back to the U.S. Embassy, apply for a tourist visa, and then see what they're going to do if they will give you another. If they give you the visa, if you get a visa after you overstay the ESTA, then you can enter the U.S. Fahad is asking on YouTube. I'm a legal permanent resident for 9 years. I don't have a 2.5 years physical presence, but I didn't stay more than 11 months outside the United States. I'm working for the U.S. company for the past 3 years, filing taxes. Can I apply for citizenship? So Fahad, like I said, on the surface, maybe. What I usually like to do for people who are traveling a lot in and out of the country, I have them fill. We have the special kind of like a calculation Excel sheet, which I can send it to you, by the way. Just send us a message. And what we do is we analyze the dates outside of the country, and we make a very, very accurate analysis, just like UCIS will do. And if my analysis falls on the positive, I'll recommend for you to apply for citizenship. If it's kind of like in a gray area, we'll discuss what we can do if it's a gray area, if you should still try it. And if it's a negative, I'll tell you, no, do not apply by any means. So if you want to process this qualification thing, just send me a text and we'll test and see if you also qualify to become a citizen. Deborah, what is your most crazy immigration case that you can remember? And remember, well, that's actually a great question. Remember, guys, the reason why we're doing these lives every single day, we started the lives on 18th of January. We're going to end it on the 6th of February. And after that, I'll do it probably twice a week for the rest of the year, but we're doing them every day to celebrate 20 years anniversary of our law firm. I started this law firm on January 6th of 2004 from the back seat of my car. And then the official office was created in March. And the craziest story that I have a lot of crazy stories, but I think the craziest story would be probably this one guy that it's actually a positive crazy story. So he's a French guy. He came here probably 30 years ago. He came illegally from the United States to the United States, and for about, I would say, 30 years, he lived in the United States without paperwork. He could never leave, go back to his home country. He couldn't attend his parents' funerals. He wasn't able to see his nephews born. This guy literally was working there. He built a chain of bakeries in Arizona, and he had. By the time he came to see me, because he said, "Listen, I've been living here for 30 years. Nobody except for one person, which was his ex-girlfriend. He was never married, but he had a girlfriend. One person, his ex-girlfriend, and me, that he told me that in 30 years had an idea that he was undocumented. He built a business that employed 1,500 people in his company, in his bakeries, and not a single person had an idea that he was undocumented. He had a driver license back in the day, and he said, "Listen, I need you to help me get legalized." And I was blown away. The guy was worth millions, right? And I was like, "Listen, why didn't you fix your paper?" Well, he said, "Well, I couldn't fix my paperwork because I don't have proof of legal entry. I came here in '92 and I lost my I-94, and I cannot prove that I came here legally." And I said, "Well, there is a procedure. You can file form I-102, and we can basically find those records." And so that's what we did. I filed for the I-102 petition. I obtained his record. It took me 7 months, and then his girlfriend agreed to marry him. And in the prenup, by the way, he did a prenup. In the prenup, it says that if they get divorced, no matter how long they stay together, she gets $1 million cash. Okay? $1 million cash, no matter how long they stay together. And then they got married. I found the records. I was able to get him a green card, and he became a green card holder, and he went back home after 36 years. And it's incredible. This guy is a multimillionaire. He flew private. He flew private with his new wife, and he said to me, "I will never forget you for being able to help me gain freedom again. With all the money in the world, all his millions, he never felt free because he was stuck in the US. He could never go anywhere. He could never go to Europe. He could never go anywhere." So the moral of the story is that don't be afraid to speak to a professional early on. And the second moral of the story is that you don't need to have paperwork to be successful and feel successful, because he was very successful without paperwork. All right. And those of you joining now, welcome our YouTube family, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Please, if you're on TikTok, if you're here for the first time, just follow my account so you don't miss any of my videos. And also the 3 dots at the bottom of the screen, click them so we can share the live. And if you need help with your immigration matter, send me a DM or use the link in my bio. For our YouTube viewers, if you need to get in touch with me, just use the phone number right here. And crazy stories, right? Samir is asking a question. He's from India. "Can I expedite my F4 petition? I'm in the USA on a student spouse F2." So basically, if you have a petition from a sibling, it's also called F4, or a green card spouse F2. You can't expedite those things. The reason you cannot expedite is because these are preference categories. Unless you're married to a US citizen or your parent is a US citizen, which is an immediate immigration, everybody else have to wait in line. Why do you think brothers and sisters have to wait 20 years sometimes? They'll have to wait 20 years because there's no visas available to give them. That's why one of the things they want to do in the law to change this immigration law that hasn't been changed since '86 is to create a way for either expedite the way where if you file for your sibling, you shouldn't have to wait 20 years. They have to find a way to kind of increase the influx of visas, or come up with a simple solution. This new visa called V visa, V as in Victor. And under this new visa that they were talking about in the Dignity Act, if you have a petition for a sibling and it's going to take 20 years, why not use this V visa that they're talking about and have your sibling come to the US on this temporary visa? And while she's here, he or she is here, they'll be able to work, they'll be able to live here with you. And that's fine. They can wait 20 years for the green card. They don't need the green card. As long as they have the work visa and a right to travel, they can be here, right? Why not do that? And so I think if we're going to see an immigration reform, you're going to start seeing those little solutions. Well, you can't fix this immigration system because it's broken, but why not come up with these little solutions? First of all, get green cards for all DACA recipients. We have 1.2 million DACA recipients. Immediately legalize them, get them green cards. Number two, do the same thing for TPS. As long as they had TPS or DACA for at least 5 years, get them green cards. Number three, farm workers, health workers, healthcare workers, essential workers, same thing. 5 years in the US on a temporary visa, get them green cards, right? That will be phase number one of an immigration reform. Phase number two, 14 million undocumented immigrants. Registry, open up registry. Registry is to be exist. It's a program that says if you came to the United States before 72, you get a green card automatically. Take the 72 date and move it forward to 2010. Anybody who came here before 2010, green card, right? That's it. That's all they have to do, right? Instead, push and pull. No, we cannot do this, this legislation. It's very simple. Bring back registry and create legalization for DACA, TPS, essential workers, and healthcare workers and all that. That's it. That's all we need. And we solve the immigration crisis in 5 seconds, right? CH5, I want E2, but I have only $25,000. So, E2 visa. We have a lot of questions here on YouTube and also on TikTok here about E2 visa. So the E2 visa, there is no limit. Like there's no basis how much you can invest. E2 visa is a visa that if you are from Europe, Mexico, Canada, Australia, and a few other countries, you can apply for this investor visa. And as long as you have enough money to invest. Now, the law doesn't give us a limit. However, in practice, I've never seen anyone who got an E2 with less than $50,000. Now, I've done an E2 in 2007 for a fisherman who invested $19,000, but that was 2007. Okay, now this is 2024. It's not going to work. Okay, so in 2024, you need 50,000. If you only have 25,000, you need to start saving, or you can get a gift from a family member or a friend, and then use that gift to be able to complement your 25,000 and make it 50,000. So send me a DM. Let's talk about it. I mean, I like the e-visa. E-visa is my favorite because it's like we're creating little businesses. Like I've done an e-visa for an ice cream shop. Right now, I'm working on an E2 visa. Actually, interesting story. I'm doing an E2 visa for like this guy, and he's a pickleball. He plays pickleball, and he creates there's like pickleball groups in the community. It's like he'll bring people together and he organizes pickleball. He has this portable pickleball equipment, like the net and the whole thing, and he sets up all these tournaments. And that's an e-visa. That's a business. Like he likes pickleball, and that's what he's doing. All right, let's see here. We've got more questions here. Tiwari is asking, my I-130, I-131 got approved. They sent me a medical request for evidence for 45 a month ago. What should I expect? Haven't got any response from UCIS. So basically what you're going to expect is that you're going to send your medical back, and then it's going to take 3-4 months for them to process your RFE, and then you should be able to get your green card. You're probably not going to have an interview, because if you get a request for evidence for medical, that ends the case, and that means they just want to give you the green card. They're not going to call you for an interview. That's actually a good idea. If you get a request for evidence for medical, you're not going to have an interview. Remember that. All right, guys. So now, our YouTube friends, we're going to end this stream for tonight. I'll be back here tomorrow again. This is for YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. And come back tomorrow. If you missed to ask me questions on YouTube, I'll be back here again tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. TikTok, I'm not done yet. We'll take some video calls on TikTok. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to continue the conversation, I'm still on TikTok answering questions. So YouTube friends, Facebook group, and Instagram, thanks for watching tonight. Happy Saturday night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. And tomorrow we have another